Unstable SMP is finally back after Parrot uploaded the Season 2 finale a while ago. You see, Wemmbu just posted the first Season 3 video on the Unstable SMP. And when I say that this might actually be the best Unstable SMP video ever, I'm not even exaggerating. But before I break down everything new in this Unstable SMP season, we are so close to 15,000 subscribers. So hit that subscribe button and drop a like on the video, because this is genuinely crazy. So not gonna lie, when I first saw this video pop up in my notifications, I was like, wait, hold on. Is this actually Season 3? Because honestly, after Parrot uploaded the Season 2 finale where he became king of the Unstable SMP, I generally thought we would have to wait like months before he got any new content. But then Wemmbu comes out of nowhere and drops this absolutely insane video titled, I explored the world's largest Minecraft server. And dude, this video is packed with so much content and so many new storylines that I literally don't even know where to start. But let me give you guys some context real quick about where we left off. So at the end of the King's Arc, which was basically Season 2, Parrot defeated Lattice K and the Law in this massive battle at the Northern Council, and he became the first king of the Unstable SMP. And honestly, the ending of that arc was so epic, but it also left a lot of questions about what would happen next. Like, what's Parrot gonna do as king? What's Spoke doing? Where's Wemmbu? And most importantly, are there gonna be new villains on the server? And bro, this new video answers some of those questions, but also opens up like 10 more, which is absolutely wild. So the video starts off with Wemmbu peacefully building his house, right? And I mean, after everything that happened with the law and the massive war and all that chaos, you'd think Wemmbu finally gets some peace and quiet to just build his base and chill. But then out of nowhere, 3 players show up at his door. And these aren't just random players, they are under the rule of someone called Arachnid? Dog, what is that name, bro? And they are trying to force him to join them in the caves. And not gonna lie, when I first saw this, I was like, dude, what is happening? Like, Parrot just became king? But now there's another faction that thinks someone else is the true king? And honestly, this is so interesting because it sets up this whole new conflict where there might be multiple people claiming to be the rightful ruler of the server. But Wemmbu, being the absolute legend that he is, refuses to join them and sends a stab shot directly at them, killing all 3 players instantly. And I mean, that's such a Wemmbu move, you know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't negotiate, he just immediately goes for the kill. So after that, Wemmbu realizes he ran out of frog lights to build his house. Which is honestly kinda funny because he just killed 3 people and now he's worried about building blocks. But he flies to this village that sells building blocks, and while he's waiting for his order, another faction shows up. And this faction is led by a player called Yangi, who starts threatening to blow up the entire village if they don't give up their resources. And the Wemmbu steps up and pulls out his mace and tells Yangi to leave. And Yangi is so intimidated that he just backs off immediately. Oh my King Wemmbu, bro, please collab with me, I need this. But anyways, this moment is so cool because it shows that even though Parrot is the official king of the server, Wemmbu is still one of the most feared and respected players. Like, Yangiak saw Wembu's mace and immediately knew not to mess with him. And the leader of the village, Fields of Elysium, thanks Wemmbu and explains that there used to be a guardian who protected the village. But he quit a while ago and left a mace in the tomb somewhere, and Fields says the tomb is dangerous to find, that they don't even know where it is. But here's where it gets really interesting. Fields tells Wemmbu that the guardian told one other person the location of the mace, and that person is Lord Sir Wesley III. And Wemmbu agrees to help find the mace, but he also says he's gonna keep it for himself because maces are super rare on the Unstable SMP, and he doesn't want to give it up. And not gonna lie, this is such a perfect setup for an adventure, like it's literally a treasure hunt quest. So Wemmbu flies to this festival near Merchant City to find Wesley. And when he finds him, Wesley says he'll only tell Wemmbu the location if they have a 4v4 tournament fight. And Wemmbu is like, I can do 1v4, but Wesley wants an honorable fight. So Wemmbu has to go recruit 3 other people. And bro, the recruitment sequence is so good. He goes to Eggchan first, and Egg says he's too busy studying. But then Wemmbu gives him a stab shot, fishing rod, and Egg immediately agrees to join. Like, that's all it took, just one stab shot fishing rod, and Eggchan is in. And then Wemmbu tells Egg to go recruit Jademan while he finds one more person. So Wemmbu goes back to the festival and recruits this random player, and they all head into the arena. But then Egg calls a timeout because he sees the God of War on the enemy team and gets super nervous, and honestly this is hilarious because Egg-chan is usually so confident, but seeing this one player makes him freak out. But then it gets even crazier because Wembu's random fighter literally digs out of the arena and abandons them, leaving them with only 3 players. And the host says they need to find a 4th person in 1 minute or they're disqualified. And then out of nowhere, this invisible player in full netherite jumps down from the crowd and asks to join Wembu's team. And dude, this mysterious player is gonna be super important later, so keep that in mind. But the fight starts, and Wemmbu tells his team to focus on Wesley because popping the team leader's totem disqualifies the entire team. And Jaden manages to pop Youngi's totem first, disqualifying him. And then Wemmbu focuses on Wesley and breaks his helmet and pops his totem. And Wesley, being a man of his word, tells Wemmbu that there's a puff at the wheat village, and once he sees a blue cornflower, he'll find a mace. But here's the thing, the invisible netherite player overhears this entire conversation from a distance. And not gonna lie, when I saw this, I immediately knew this player was gonna betray Wemmbu and try to steal the mace. Like, it was so obvious, but also so well done. So Wemmbu and Egg-chan head to the wheat fields, and Egg convinces Wemmbu to test out his orbital strike on it, which blows up a small portion of the field, just a tiny bit. And they find a path by realizing it's made by clearing out trees in the forest. And as they're walking down the path, they find this house, and Egg goes in first and finds a book. And bro, this book is so important to the lore of the entire server. It says that the violent nature of the server gets stale and repetitive, and if they keep going on this path of destruction, it would only lead to boredom. And honestly, this is such a meta moment because it's literally talking about how Wemmbu faked his own death out of boredom before. Like, this book is directly referencing events that happened early in the series, and it's making a statement about the cycle of violence on the server. And while Egg is reading the book, multiple invisible diamond players sneak up on the house. But Wemmbu hears their footsteps and activates an orbital strike that blows up the house and everything around it. And I mean, Wembu's awareness is absolutely insane. Like, he heard footsteps and immediately knew to blow everything up. So they keep exploring and find a bridge, and Egg says it might be trapped. Which it definitely is because Wemmbu walks on it and activates an arrow cannon that pops his totem immediately. And then Egg pulls across the bridge and the warden spawns right next to Wemmbu. And dude, the warden fight is so intense because Wemmbu tries to mace it at first, but then resorts to using stab shots to kill it. And they finally make it past another bridge and see this sword build with an item frame that has the mace on it. But then the invisible player from the tournament pulls onto it and grabs the mace before Wemmbu and Egg can get that. And the player puts their armor on, revealing that it's the same person who helped them in the tournament. And they thank Wemmbu for setting off all the traps and saving their armor durability. And not gonna lie, this is such a smooth betrayal, like the player literally used Wemmbu to get through all the dangerous parts, and then stole the mace at the last second. And the fight starts and the player goes full invis to their advantage. But Wemmbu has this plan to lead them to the bridge where the arrow cannon is and get Egg to activate the trap. But Egg says he broke it. So Wemmbu uses plan B and uses his stab shot on the player while launching himself up in the air at the same time. And he goes flying down and maces the player, but they use a Turtle Monster potion while he's falling. So they survive the attack, but all the armor breaks. And then they put another set on, but Wemmbu keeps attacking, and eventually the player tells him to stop and says there's other places he can get a mace. Drops the mace and leaves. And honestly, this ending to the fight is so interesting because the player just gives up and surrenders the mace instead of fighting to the death. Like, they realized Wemmbu wasn't gonna stop and just decided it wasn't worth it. So Wemmbu and Egg go back to the village and hand off the mace to Fields. And Fields thanks them and gives them a free horse and building blocks as a reward. And as they leave, Wemmbu apologizes for blowing up their wheat field with the orbital strike, which is such a small detail but shows that Wemmbu actually cares about the village. And then the video ends with them riding off into the sunset in the wheat field, which would be such a perfect ending, except there's an extra scene at the very end where Wemmbu maces his own horse to test if he gains height. And the horse just burns to death. And bro, I cannot tell you how hard I laughed at this. Like, after this entire epic quest and adventure, Wemmbu just casually kills his own horse for science. That's so on brand for him, it's absolutely perfect. But here's the thing that I want to talk about, and this is why the title of my video is Unstable SMP is finally back, but not for long. Because if you look at the book that Eggtron found, it's talking about how the violence on the server gets stale and repetitive, and leads to boredom. And we know from previous episodes that Wemmbu literally faked his own death because he was bored of the server. And now there's this new faction on the Arachnid that wants Wemmbu to join them in the caves, and there's also the fact that Parrot is now king, which is gonna create some new conflicts. And honestly, I think the season is setting up for something massive. Like the book is literally foreshadowing that the server might be heading towards some kind of crisis or major change. And with all these new factions popping up and people challenging Parrot's rule as king, I wouldn't be surprised if Season 3 ends up being about the complete collapse or reformation of the entire server. And the title "But Not For Long" is because I genuinely think this peaceful building phase isn't gonna last and we're gonna see some major chaos very soon. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think Arachnid is gonna be the new main antagonist of Season 3? What do you think the book means when it talks about boredom and violence? And who was that mysterious invisible player that helped and then betrayed Wemmbu? Because honestly, I have so many theories about where this season is going and I'm so excited to see what happens next. And if you guys enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, because we are so close to 15,000 subscribers and I would really appreciate the support. But yeah, that's everything you need to know about Wembu's first Season 3 video. Make sure to watch the full video yourself if you haven't already, because it's generally one of the best Unstable SMP videos ever made. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!